Welcome to Ron's Workbench. Hey, welcome back to my workbench. In this episode, I'm going to go over one of the many ways you can model cement, concrete, and stucco. The items you will need for this technique are water putty, acrylic paints, a medium, inexpensive, stiff paintbrush, a bowl or a pallet or some kind of disposable plastic lid, and your imagination. The water putty will act as the texture for the mixture. If you don't have water putty, some fine sand and some very fine gravel could also be used. So let's get started. What you're going to do is you take your paint and you're going to mix in a couple teaspoons of this water putty, and what that will give us is it's going to give us almost like a concrete mixture. So we're going to take that, we'll mix it up, and then we'll apply it all around the base, so that way it looks like this is poured concrete. Before I start, I just want to let you know that whatever you use to do this, you're going to end up throwing all that away. You're going to destroy your brush, and you're also going to end up destroying whatever you use for your palette to mix the paints, because once this hardens up, it's going to harden up as a rock. So, all right, so we'll continue on. We'll mix this up. Chosen are a khaki and an antique white. I think together they should give me a decent bleached out concrete look. Of course, then once we're done, we'll weather it, probably put a little cracks in it and stuff like that. Okay, so we'll go on from there. First step is got a little disposable old lid that we're gonna use. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna mix our paints. So majority of this is going to be khaki. And we're going to need a fair amount, because this is about 5 inches, and it's actually a scale 6 feet high, so that it'll be just below the opening of boxcar when it's next to my track and roadbed. Okay, so we'll start with the khaki. Gonna need a decent amount. And we're gonna mix in a little antique white to lighten it up a bit. Not a lot. Okay, so let's get this mixed up. White. Get it to the consistency that I'm looking for. And it's okay if it has some variation in the color. All right, so we've opened up this already. I'm going to take some of the water putty. Add some in, and we're basically making cement. So like I said, I've never done this, so we're going to be doing this together, live, as it were. So if I screw up, you all get to see it and learn from my mistakes. I'm trying to look at the consistency. Bring some more powder in. And the idea is you're not going to paint this on, you're going to dab it on. Use a little bit more of the water putty. And we're going to need to make a mess. Now, I mean, work a little quick because it is starting to thicken up, which is what I wanted it to do. And I wanted to get a texture of cement. All right. Hey, no guts, no glory, so just get some here, and we are just going to start. So we're just going to dab it on like that. I'm going to do the corners first because I want them to round up, and take some, dab it on. That's it. So I'm trying to dab it to give it a little texture. Okay. Yeah. Get that off. So I am using a very, 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 very cheap brush to do this. So, flip it around, get the sides, edges. I don't know how well you can see that, just some more light on it. It's a little rough. If anybody wants to donate some money to me for some new lighting for the studio, feel free. So, all right. Only kidding. Where am I? All right. Like I said, I have seen this done by many, many, many different people. You know, writing back and forth with Ron Perry a month or so ago before everything went to hell in my life and life got in the way. And, you know, he was talking about altruism in modeling. And it's true. You know, nobody owns a certain technique. As modelers, we borrow from each other and we learn from each other. So, you know, if you use a technique that you've seen on YouTube or read in a book or something like that, you know, give credit where credit's due, you know. So, come back around that front part and try and put just a little more texture on it. Okay. I'm going to go over the sides now. And all I'm doing is stippling. I'm just using the brush in an up and down motion to give it texture, so there aren't any actual like brush marks in it. Trying not to add any more paint or mixture, as it were. So I'm just stippling it on over. Any place you see a run or you went over a little heavy, just again, just up and down motion. And now we're gonna sit this down flat, and we're just gonna take off from there. I'm just gonna start putting this down, and we're gonna cover the whole thing. I'd like to thank all of my fellow modelers out there that share their techniques and do things to help other people learn. It's truly is the world's greatest hobby. Just so many nice people in the industry, and they're just, you know, willing to help and to give. So there we go. All right, so we are covered, and now what I'm gonna do now is take some more of the paint off of this, and I'm just gonna go through and randomly stipple it up and down, give it a nice texture. Now it is a little dark. It is gonna, this will dry darker, but that's fine, because once I'm done with this, I will weather it. So one corner here I want to try and build up a little. A little more, it could be right there. Okay. Off, come back, stipple again. I'm trying to take a look here. All right, one more there. All right, so now all we have to do is let this dry up. And this will dry rather quickly, you know. I'm using some pretty fast drying acrylics, and adding the water putty to it, it is going to dry rather quickly. So we'll let this sit overnight, let it harden up, and then tomorrow we'll come through, take a look at it, see where we're going from there. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah. You like the video, you like what you're seeing, you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you're notified every time I put a new video up. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you later. Bye. On the next episode of Ron's Workbench, it's a miracle.